Greetings, comrades. It is I, Miriam, the only Miriam, and thank you so much for tuning in. First things first, Զատիկն շնորհավոր. Happy Easter in Armenian. Today we will be discussing how us Armenians celebrate Easter and what sorts of traditions and customs we have. Before we begin, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click on the zangak or the bell icon to receive notifications from this channel, and comment down below how your family, Armenian or not Armenian, celebrates Easter, or what other sorts of holidays you guys celebrate. Furthermore, it in fact is Armenian History or Armenian Heritage Month, so please stay tuned for more videos on Armenian history, our customs, traditions, and everything that is all Armenian. First things first, Easter celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. For those who don't know, in our Christian faith, we believe that Jesus is essentially God in the human form, and was put to death or crucified by the Roman Empire because the Romans feared that he would become too powerful, he would gain too much support, and he eventually would become the emperor himself. You know, it's interesting because I think most people forget the political aspect of this all and how Jesus was in fact murdered for political reasons. I don't know, I just feel as if most people don't recognize that and just think that it happened for no reason because it really doesn't make sense why someone who is literally God and behaves in the most pure and kind way could ever suffer such a horrible fate. Moving on, in Christianity, we believe that 3 days later, Jesus's tomb, or where he was buried, was in fact empty, that he had essentially risen from the dead. And for those who may not be too familiar with religion or aren't Christian, the main message or our core belief is that by believing in Jesus and thus behaving like him, we too shall never suffer death, be cleansed from our sins or our wrongdoings. I apologize if this explanation doesn't make too much sense. It's just a little synopsis of Easter and why we celebrate it. Now let us add Armenia to the mix. You see, Armenia was the very first Christian country. I don't think most people in the West realize this, since most Christians are in fact either Catholic or Protestant and Lutheran or follow some sort of form of Western Christianity. I think most people just assume that Christianity spread because of the Roman Empire. But no, Armenia was in fact the very first Christian nation. We accepted Christianity as the state religion in 301 AD, and King Tırtat, I think his name is Tiridates in English or something of that sort, he converted the country from Armenian or Indo-European style paganism to Orthodox Christianity, all because of Saint Gregory the Illuminator. I believe it's 99 or 98% of Armenia that is Christian. We Armenians have historically always defended our Christian faith. Armenia was historically invaded by ever so many world powers or huge empires. And as a result, many Armenians did suffer under Islamic oppression and such. And one of the biggest reasons to why we have historically been massacred and genocided is most definitely because of our Christian faith. We will discuss how religion has played a key role in Armenia's history and culture in a separate video, but as a result of how Christianity is so important to us, Armenians take Easter extremely seriously. In Armenian, we call Easter Zatik or Surp Zatik, meaning sacred Easter. It's interesting, Zatik is also the same word for ladybug. I'm not sure if there's some sort of connection there. When do Armenians celebrate Easter? So Armenians are Orthodox Christian, but here's the deal. We are Orthodox, but not Eastern Orthodox. There are two different main sects of Orthodox Christianity. There is Oriental Orthodoxy and Eastern Orthodoxy, and we are Oriental Orthodox Christian. But truth be told, there really is no major difference in the theology of these two main sects, and I've read that these churches have wanted to unite as one single united Orthodox church for centuries now. Read that the reason why Armenians did not join with the Eastern Orthodox Christians was to gain independence from the Byzantine Empire. Celebrate Easter on the Sunday after the Jewish Passover, or around the same time as Catholics and Lutherans. Now, how do we celebrate Easter? First of all, Armenians always attend Mass at church. We often connect with friends and family and eat with them, obviously, because we're Armenian, all we do is cook and eat. Armenians also make ever so many phone calls and often Skype with family members living abroad. I'm sure that every Armenian receives these sorts of messages from their aunties on WhatsApp. And interestingly enough, there are actually ever so many different sorts of traditional foods around the Easter dinner or lunch table. Obviously, we paint eggs and we have a fun little game with them as well. And so traditionally, Armenians would always dye their eggs red. And there's this sort of thing where if you use certain dried herbs, you can essentially carve out these tiny images. You will also find that Armenians often like to paint their eggs, often with Armenian figures on them or traditional patterns. You also find that us Armenians have a fun little game that we play with eggs. What we do is one person takes one egg and the other person takes another egg. And so you hold it up like this and one person hits the other person's egg with one side of their egg. And the person whose egg cracks essentially loses that round. And so you basically clash together all the sides of the eggs, and the person whose egg entirely cracks loses, and the egg that can take the most hits essentially wins. I mean, all these Americans have their Easter egg hunts and I don't know, are eating their chocolate eggs, but then Armenians over here are having like WWE matches with their eggs. Around the dinner table, we actually eat fish, which may indeed sound bizarre, but it essentially represents Jesus. I'm pretty sure that Italians do this as well. Obviously, bread, rice, and many other sorts of Mediterranean dishes are present as well. Interestingly enough, we actually put dried but caramelized fruits on top of our rice as well. And that might sound rather disgusting, but it's interesting because you have something as not bland but lightly salted as rice, and its flavor is quite the opposite to those sweet dried fruits. So I don't know, there's like some sort of juxtaposition of flavors going on. They complement each other very well. Armenians also always eat choreg, which is this sort of dried sweet bread. It's not necessarily like a flaky dessert, but usually braided and comes in like a cute little design. I don't really think that we have some sort of Easter bunny tradition in Armenian culture, but I've heard that there was some time where in historical Armenia, children would go around and essentially ask for sweets or something of that sort from neighboring houses and such. So this was essentially like our version of Halloween. But then again, I may be confusing this with something else, but this was something that I heard of. We say Christos hareav imerelots, which essentially means Jesus ascended during his death. And this is in ancient Armenian or Western Armenian, I'm pretty sure. Օրհնե հարությունên Քրիստոսի, which essentially means the resurrection of Jesus is a blessing, or that it is blessed. Also, I apologize, that's a very rough translation, but voila, that's essentially it. We have reached the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to comment down below what your family did for Easter, or what your favorite Easter traditions are, or what else you would like to see from this channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click on the zangak or the bell icon to receive notifications from this channel. Thank you so much for all the recent support. Եվ շատ շնորհակալություն, եւ Կտեսնվենք. Կտեսություն.